Hello, we are on live. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thought for Thursday. I hope everybody's doing good on a what was a pretty nice day here in the Maryland area. Hope that it's doing great out in your area as well. Hope that you are happy on the first day of the last month of the year. So, congratulations. How many of us really wondered how we were going to make it through the year? And look at where you are now. Isn't it awesome to know that things that you wanted to accomplish, you did? Perhaps there's some things that you didn't accomplish. And there's nothing to hold your head about or hold your head down about that because we're approaching a new year where you have a fresh new opportunity to go ahead and set some goals and be clear about what you want to do, thus the talk tonight on clarity, so that you will be able to go out and do those things that you desire to do. I admit there's some things that I did not get to accomplish this year that I've wanted to do, but I'm also very excited because I have gotten very clear on what is needed to move forward on some of these things. So, bottom line is, we don't need to beat ourselves up when we don't get everything accomplished that we desire to get accomplished. What's key is making sure that we're learning in the process, that we're understanding what we have missed, and that we're able to go forth and implement some things to back up or backtrack or move forward, whatever is needed for us to go ahead and reach those goals that we do desire to hit and to reach. So, tonight we're talking about clarity. That is key to progressing forward, to progressing, period. Okay. Clarity is key in making sure that you're getting just what it is that you desire. Clarity is key to making sure that the things that you're working on, that you're setting them up appropriately so that you can be successful in getting them accomplished. So, I know I hear it all the time, and I'm sure that you feel it much of the time, particularly if you're trying to go into a new space, if you're trying to move into an area that you've never been in before, or perhaps you're finally trying to implement some things that you've desired to do for quite some time. You've finally gotten up the nerves to do it. Perhaps you've done the homework to get what I call your core straight, which is your mind and your heart and your determination to do what it is that you desire to do. Perhaps you finally have all that stuff straight and you're ready to move forward, but you're not clear on exactly how in the world you're supposed to get the things that you want to get. So, what is it that you should do in order to get some clear lines, some clear direction on where it is that you want to head? Well, first things first is you can't fall into the I want to get things done and I'm not clear, so I just don't know how successful I'll be. You can't beat yourself up about that, but you must instead go ahead and institute some things that you need to do in order to make things clearer. So, first up, you need to take responsibility. The power in taking full responsibility for your clarity. There's power in that, in taking responsibility for anything that you need to get clear on. Give yourself, some leeway in that. Take responsibility for anything that you give yourself the power to change. If you believe that something is inside of you that's going to enable you, all right, to make these changes, to have the control that is needed in order for you to make what you desire to birth into the world, what you desire to bring forward. If you believe that that is within you and that you can control that, you can always find a way to begin to move in the direction to get the things that you want to get, or achieve the goals that you want to acquire. So clarity is something excuse me, that you ultimately have to create, not something that just happens to you. All right. You have to create that clarity, which means that you got to do some homework so that those things that aren't really lining up, or so that those things that you really need to put in order in some way, you need to do the homework to find out what it is you need to do to get them to line up so that you will be in procession, all right, that you will be in line to go ahead and move forward with those things that you want. Start by making a decision, and then sticking with it until your success is achieved. Since you get better at making decisions by being aware, of course, of what all of the intricate little pieces are, that's where your research is coming in. So you have to be knowledgeable in order to be able to put those things in line, to line up the requirements, to line up the funds, to line up, the resources that are needed to get things that you want. You have to be able to do the research to find out what those are. And then you can get clear on how you're to move in getting those things accomplished. And in that way, since you're doing the work, all right, you're doing the work to get that clarity. That also gives you a sense of determination, a sense of responsibility, the same responsibility that we're talking about for being in control of determining the clarity that's needed and determining when you have reached that clarity. Something else that I always talk about, and it is critical, and I'll be talking about it a lot more in 2023. 2023 is the year of the story. I believe that along with getting clear, getting your head clear, and understanding how your mind and your thought processes and what you feel in your heart and what you know in your head to be the things that you need to do. In addition to having those in place to move forward, you also have to be able to plug into your story, to plug into your journey. So, more and more in 2023, I'm going to present opportunities to teach and to be able to help you to understand the fact, the process, the part that your story plays in where you are right now and in where you want to be. So use your past in getting that clarity is the second thing I'm going to tell you. It's a tool that is always available. Your past is always there. Your level of clarity hasn't always been constant, okay, which is what we're talking about right now. But your past has been constant. Plug into that. What are some of the things that you experienced that could possibly help you to be clear on the goals that you're trying to accomplish right now? What are some of the things that you've experienced that have really kind of laid the foundation for the things that you want to do going forward? Plug into your past, plug into that experience, plug in to the things that you've already dealt with, the lessons that you've already learned in order to be clear on what the path is for you to move forward. What else do I say that you need to do? Visualize what that thing, whatever that is that you're trying to accomplish, visualize what that looks like right now as you're as you're attempting to get the clarity that you need in order to figure how that's going to take place. You know that there's some things that you want to do. You may know what you want to have. You may know the thing that you want to work on. You may know that it involves relationships. You may know that it involves business ventures. You know pieces of the puzzle, but it's almost as though you need that clarity to help to weave those pieces together in order to get to what you desire for this product or this process or this thing to be. So what you need to do is visualize that. You may think that things have to be a certain way before you can feel clear, but having everything just where you need them to be really doesn't guarantee, or just in a certain order, doesn't always guarantee that that's going to bring about the clarity that's needed. But if you sit and you visualize that thing, even though it's not perfect, being able to see what it looks like when it gets to the place where you want it to be is definitely instrumental in helping you to get some clarity on how to start maneuvering your way to get where you want to go. So visualize that, and then start doing the things that are kind of walking you in line, all right, to get to that thing that you see. You may then start to see things fall in place. You may understand where resources are going to come from. You may be able to see what people that you can tap into to help to bring things clearer to you, that perhaps have done some of the things that you've already done, and they can provide direction. And the more that you get to learn the pieces of the puzzle, of course, the clearer things start to get. It's a domino effect. You get more pieces of the puzzle, you get a little more clarity. You understand what are needed. You get a little more clarity in how it's supposed to play out. You develop relationships. You understand then how they are supposed to go along with the resources and then with the mentoring. So things begin to fall in place when you can start to visualize exactly how that may look. All right. Write down your goals and review them. That's number 5. Write them down. We talk about writing the vision. Yes, write your vision. All right. Write your vision down, of course, of what it is that you're seeing, but also write down those goals and objectives that are going to help you to get to that vision. Document them, because in that process, even, is something that is going to, of course, give you some clarity. It's going to keep you on track so that you're able to move and succinctly get closer and closer to where you want to be. Make sure you document. I talk about it all the time, whether it's in a journal, whether it's in a notebook. And I have some resources. I have some wonderful resources that are going to be available beginning probably in the next few weeks. A journal that is just a simple journal for my risers. All of my products, I tend to kind of have my risers in mind. And it's just simply allowing you to document things, document your thoughts, document your goals and your objectives, so that you're able to have everything in one place and able to move forward and be able to come back and reference some of those things. So journaling is important. Documenting those goals and objectives are very important. And it's the 4th thing that you need to do in making sure that you are gaining clarity, or making sure that you're working towards clarity. Number 5, believe that an okay goal is better than no goal. All right. Don't get so stuck with not really knowing which direction you're going in, trying to figure out if this piece is really playing the part that it's supposed to. Am I really tapping into all of the people that I'm supposed to tap into? Am I tapping into the resources? Is my research really yielding what I think it's yielding? Rather than getting so bogged down in that piece of it, don't get so bogged down in that piece of it that you totally start to dismiss any goals that you hit whatsoever. And we talk, or I have talked, spoken in the past about good being good enough, and perfect really being something that you will never reach, of course, but working for the good is going to get you really in alignment with doing something great, all right? Or even reaching for things to be a certain way. Don't fall short when you don't hit perfect. Be happy with good and great, because they are just that. They're good and great, and they're good enough. So don't get discouraged when you don't perfectly hit things bullseye right on the head. Realize that good enough is really going to help you still, and is going to still provide some clarity in where it is that you need to go. Something else, number 6, and the last thing, when trying to gain clarity, don't try to gain clarity on 5 or 7 different things, initiatives that you're trying to put forward. All right. Work on one thing at a time. You may get bits and pieces of all five or six or seven or eight things that you really want to give life to. However, trying to do all of them at the same time is really going to make things very confusing for you, and you're going to get stuck. And then you start falling prey to things like I just mentioned in the step before, where the goal doesn't look good enough, so you abandon it altogether, or you feel as though you're not clear on that and the clarity starts to get distorted on everything else. You really need to focus on one thing at a time so that you don't get so bogged down that you give up on everything. All right? So, telling you again, the things that you need to do to get clarity, realize that you need to take some responsibility for them. It is your responsibility for getting clarity. Don't depend on everyone else to give you that clarity. Now, there are some things that you can do in order to really kind of get up out of confusion. I frequently pray for direction on how I should proceed with things. And I pray for discernment and understanding when I'm supposed to pursue something versus when I'm supposed to leave it alone. So there are some things that you can do. I always say you can always, of course, depend on God to give you direction. But then there is a piece of this clarity that you really have to work out on your own. And in working it out, you will realize, or it will help to bring to life the direction that you really need to go. Secondly, use your past. You have a wealth of information in your past. Yes, the good and the bad. I always talk about it. Plug into your story, plug into your journey to see what you can leverage that's going to propel you and be able to help you to get clearer on where it is that you need to be. Number three, visualize where you want to go. Visualize it and then imagine yourself walking in that direction to get to where you want to be. You must visualize it in order to even hold on to that dream, hold on to that thing that you really want. Write that vision down so that you will be reminded when things don't always go the way that you want them to go. You'll be reminded of the end result. So write it down, put it somewhere where you can hold on to it. Fourth, I already said that. Write down your vision. Also, write down your goals and objectives that are going to support those things, or that are going to actually bring your vision to life. Five, believe that an okay goal is better than no goal at all. Don't abandon everything because you can't get clear on everything. Work on one thing at a time. Get clear on one thing and then start to build those other things out. And number six, focus on one project at a time. Again, I just said that. Focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, you're going to get totally bogged down in trying to get too many things done, and you will absolutely fail at trying to get anything done. All right? So that's it. We went a little over, but I think it's great information. Try and strive. Strive hard to get the clarity that you need to get your 2023 where you want it to be. I keep giving you teasers, but please definitely turn your notifications on. I am working hard to bring us some resources that are going to help us to be able to further develop our story so that we can move forward, that are going to teach us how to plug back in so that we can move forward, and things that are going to help you to actually be able to have what you want heard, to be able to document your story. I say again, your story is the foundation of so much, of so many pieces of the things that you desire to do in life, whether that's personally and or professionally. And I have some resources coming your way that are going to help you to plug into that and to build from those things. All right. So that's it. Thought for Thursday. Get clarity for 2023 and don't focus on doing so much. Get real precise, get real clear on exactly what it is that you're trying, or get real focused, all right, on the clarity that you're trying to get in order to be able to bring that vision that you really want to fruition. All right, that's it. You guys have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend. Remember, go out and be yourself boldly, unapologetically, authentically you, because your imprint is needed, just your thumbprint. It's unique. It's made just the way it was designed to bring about change, to bring about wonderful things in the world that only you can bring about. All right? You guys have a good one. Bye.